My 55-year-old wife said I need a younger, more exciting life, and left me for her 35-year-old trainer. I told her, enjoy your adventure. 6 months later, when she tried to get back on my health insurance after finding out her boy toy was actually married with kids, I'd already moved on. I'm 58, male. Thought my wife, Deborah, 55, and I had a good thing going. 32 years of marriage, 2 grown and successful kids, a paid-off house, solid retirement savings. I thought we'd made it through the rough years and could finally relax and enjoy life together. Turns out I was wrong. It all started with CrossFit. Deborah joined a gym last year and said she wanted to get her body back. I was supportive, even when the membership cost $185 a month, even when she started buying $120 Lululemon leggings and those overpriced protein shakes. Then came Brad, her 35-year-old personal trainer, former military, covered in tattoos, the kind of guy who posts shirtless gym selfies with motivational captions. Suddenly it was all. Brad says I have amazing potential. Brad thinks I could compete in the Masters division. Brad really understands me. I met him once at their gym's family day. The guy spent the entire time calling me chief and giving me unsolicited advice about my dad bod. I'm 58, not trying to be an Instagram model. I jog 3 times a week, and my doctor says I'm healthy. That's good enough for me. 3 months ago, Deborah sat me down after dinner. Full makeup, wearing a new dress I'd never seen before. Tom, I need to talk to you about something important. My mind went straight to illness or bad news, cancer maybe. But instead, she said, I'm not happy. I feel like I'm suffocating in this life. I need excitement, adventure, passion. I need to feel young again. I told her, okay, we could travel. Take that Europe trip you always wanted. She shook her head. You don't understand. This life, this routine, this predictable existence, it's killing me. I'm 55, not dead. I deserve to feel alive. What are you saying? I asked. I'm leaving. Brad and I are together. He makes me feel things I haven't felt in decades. I just stared at her. 32 years together. And she was leaving me for a guy who probably wasn't even born when we got married. He's 20 years younger than you, I said. Age is just a number, Tom. When you're truly connected with someone, it doesn't matter. The craziest part? She'd already packed, had an apartment lined up. She'd been planning this for months while I thought everything was fine. I want a divorce, she said. Brad and I are moving in together. He's going to help me become a fitness influencer. A fitness influencer. At 55. With 2,000 Instagram followers, half of them bots she paid for. I could have begged, cried, or fought. Instead, I just said, okay, enjoy your adventure. She looked shocked that I didn't fight harder. That's it? That's all you have to say? What do you want me to say? You've made your choice. You're choosing a guy named Brad who drinks pre-workout for breakfast, over 3 decades together. Good luck with that. She left that night. 2 weeks later, the divorce papers came through fast. Deborah wanted her fair share, half the house, half my 401k, half my pension and alimony. Her lawyer sent this ridiculous demand letter claiming she sacrificed her career to raise our kids. What career? She worked part-time at a boutique for 3 years in the 90s. I paid for her to get a real estate license she never used, funded her failed Etsy jewelry business, supported her through her photography phase, her life coaching certification, and her essential oils MLM disaster. But here's where things got interesting. Because she left me for another man, and we live in an at-fault state, adultery matters. My lawyer, Janet, an absolute shark worth every penny, was thrilled. Deborah had admitted to the affair, even posted about it on Facebook, complete with pictures of her and Brad, captioned, "My new chapter with my soulmate." Janet actually laughed. This is going to be easier than I thought. Meanwhile, Deborah was living her best life on social media, gym selfies with Brad every morning, green smoothies, sunrise yoga, and posts about choosing happiness. And never too late to follow your heart. My daughter Kelly, 28, called me furious. Dad, Mom's lost her mind. She introduced Brad to me as her partner. He's 7 years older than me. It's disgusting. My son Eric, 26, was even more blunt. She's having the world's most expensive midlife crisis. Let her crash and burn. But the entitlement was just beginning. Deborah texted me asking for temporary support while the divorce was processing. Tom, I need help with expenses. The apartment is $2,200 a month, and Brad's between jobs right now. Between jobs. The successful personal trainer, who was supposed to make her an influencer, was unemployed. I told her all communication had to go through lawyers. She replied, "Don't be petty, Tom. We were married 32 years. Were. Past tense. Your choice," I said. She tried calling our bank to access my personal account. Thankfully, I'd already separated everything. Then she called me screaming that I was financially abusing her. "You're being cruel. I have rights. You have the right to get a job. Brad can support you now, right? That's what partners do." She hung up. 6 weeks later, the mask started slipping, fast. Turns out Brad, the entrepreneur, wasn't just between jobs. He'd been fired from the gym for sleeping with clients. Plural. Deborah wasn't special. She was just the one with the most money. How did I find out? Another client, Miranda, reached out to me on Facebook. She'd been with Brad too. Thought they were exclusive until she saw Deborah's posts. Miranda sent me screenshots of texts from Brad, dated from when he was already with Deborah, talking about how he was working on something big and just needed a few months to get set up, and how his current situation was temporary. I forwarded everything to Janet, and she sent it straight to Deborah's lawyer with a note: "Your client might want to reconsider her demands." But Deborah doubled down, posting a long Facebook rant about how I was trying to destroy her happiness and how bitter. Rejected men can't handle strong women choosing themselves. Strong women? She couldn't even open her own pickle jars. Then came the health insurance issue. See, Deborah was on my excellent corporate health plan. Great coverage, low deductibles, dental, and vision included. She assumed she'd stay on it during the divorce. Nope. During legal separation in our state, I had no obligation to keep her on my employer plan, especially since she left the marriage for adultery. I removed her during open enrollment. 2 days later, she called, not texted, screaming, "You removed me from the insurance. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. Brad doesn't have insurance. He's working on it." Sounds like a personal problem, I said. I have medications. I need coverage. Cobra exists. It's only $1,400 a month. I can't afford that. Shouldn't have left your meal ticket for a guy who lives in his car, then. Oh, yeah, forgot that part. Brad didn't even have an apartment. He'd been crashing at the gym after hours. When Deborah got them that apartment, it was the first stable housing he'd had in months. My wife left me for a technically homeless personal trainer. 3 months in, the divorce negotiations were beautiful. Because of the adultery, and because I documented everything, Deborah's demands got shredded. No alimony, adultery forfeits that in our state. She got her half of the house equity, but had to agree to sell immediately because she couldn't afford to buy me out. She got her portion of my 401k from the marriage years, but she needed cash fast, so she took early withdrawals, meaning penalties and taxes. No claim on my pension. The house sold quickly, hot market, and after realtor fees and paying off the small remaining mortgage, we each walked away with about $180,000. Deborah burned through $30,000 in 6 weeks. New car for Brad, leased Mercedes. New wardrobe for her influencer career, professional photography sessions, cosmetic treatments, all of it. She documented everything on Instagram like she was a real housewife. Meanwhile, Brad's true colors kept showing. My neighbor Carl told me he saw Brad at a bar with another woman while Deborah was at her book club. Then, the doorbell camera footage from my old house, which I still had access to until the sale closed, caught Brad bringing someone home while Deborah was visiting her sister. But the entitlement didn't stop there. Deborah's mom, Ruth, an 80-year-old woman I'd driven to doctor's appointments for years, helped move into assisted living, the whole bit, called me to lecture me. Thomas, you need to forgive Deborah and take her back. Ruth, she left me for another man. She was confused. This Brad character has manipulated her. You're her husband. You're supposed to fight for her. She's a grown woman who made her choice, I told Ruth. She's making mistakes, but you're being vindictive. A real man would win her back. A real man respects himself enough not to be someone's backup plan. Then Ruth actually said, and I quote, "You're going to die alone and regret this." I told her, I'd rather die alone than live with someone who doesn't want me. 5 months later, Deborah found out about Brad's side pieces. How? The idiot gave her an STD. Yeah, she called me crying, actually thinking I'd sympathize. He gave me chlamydia, Tom. I have to take antibiotics. Why are you calling me? I asked. Because you're the only one who really knows me. I thought I didn't understand you, I said. I thought I was boring and killing your spirit. I made a mistake. Okay, I said. Is that what you wanted to hear? What I want, I told her, is for you to never call me again. But she kept calling, texting, emailing. Turns out Brad had moved another woman into their apartment and kicked Deborah out. She was staying with a friend, though the friend was getting tired of her drama. The money was almost gone. The influencer career never took off. Shocking, I know. Who could have predicted that? She was now working part-time at a department store, making $15 an hour. Then came the insurance crisis that prompted this entire post. Last week, Deborah texted me. I need to get back on your health insurance. I have a lump in my breast. I need a mammogram and possibly a biopsy. Okay, that's serious. I'm not heartless. I told her, I'm sorry about your health scare, but you need to get your own insurance. I can't afford it, she said. The marketplace plans are terrible and cost $800 a month. You should have thought about that before, I replied. You're seriously going to let me die because you're petty? Dramatic much? You're not dying. You need a screening. Go to Planned Parenthood. They have sliding scale fees. Here's what she didn't know. I'd remarried. Yeah, it happened fast, but when you know, you know. Her name's Patricia. She's 56, a widow. I met her at a grief support group for people dealing with major life changes. We clicked instantly. No drama, no games, just two adults who knew what they wanted. We got married at the courthouse 2 weeks ago. Small ceremony, just immediate family. Patricia's now on my insurance as my spouse. So when Deborah showed up at my office yesterday, demanding that I add her to my insurance for humanitarian reasons, Patricia was there, having lunch with me. The look on Deborah's face when Patricia opened my office door, wearing a wedding ring, was priceless. You got married? She stammered. Patricia, sweet as pie, said, yes. 2 weeks ago. You must be the ex-wife. Tom's told me so much about you. Deborah turned to me. You replaced me already. Replaced implies you still had the position, I said. You quit. Remember? This is Patricia, my wife. But I need insurance. Patricia kept smiling. Have you tried the marketplace? Or maybe that boyfriend of yours can help. We broke up. That's unfortunate, Patricia said. Well, we should get back to lunch. Nice meeting you. Deborah just stood there, mouth opening and closing like a fish. Then came the waterworks. Tom, please. I'm scared. I need help. You needed help when you were chasing a 35-year-old trainer. You needed help when you were blowing through your settlement money. You needed help when you were posting about your amazing new life on Facebook. Now you need a job with benefits. Current situation. It's been a week since that office confrontation, and the escalation has been something. First, Deborah went nuclear on social media, posting about how I abandoned her in her time of need, how I was flaunting my new wife, and how men always trade in for newer models. Patricia's literally 1 year older than Deborah, but okay. Her post backfired spectacularly. The comments were brutal. Didn't you leave him for your trainer? Girl, you posted pics with your boy toy for months. Now you're mad he moved on? This is embarrassing. Delete this. My favorite was from her own cousin. Deborah, you're 55. Time to grow up. She deleted the post within hours. Then came the family intervention attempts. My former brother-in-law called, trying to guilt me into helping her. Her sister even showed up at my old house. Jokes on her, I'd already moved. Even our kids got involved, but not how Deborah expected. Kelly shut her down hard. Mom, you made your bed. Literally, with Brad. Eric was even more direct. Maybe focus on getting your life together instead of stalking Dad and Patricia. Oh, yeah, the stalking. She followed Patricia to her yoga class. Sat in the parking lot. Patricia, who's dealt with real loss, her first husband died of cancer, wasn't even fazed. She walked right up to Deborah and said, "This is embarrassing for both of us. Tom's moved on. You should too." The financial spiral just kept going. Deborah's car got repossessed. That Mercedes she'd leased for Brad? She co-signed it. He stopped making payments. She got evicted from her friend's apartment for not contributing to rent. Last I heard, she was staying with her mom, Ruth, in the assisted living facility, sleeping on the couch. Ruth called me again. "She's your responsibility." "No, Ruth," I said. "She's a grown woman who wanted excitement and adventure. She's getting exactly that. Adventure is just another word for poor planning." But here's the real kicker. Remember that health scare? The lump? She finally went to Planned Parenthood. Benign cyst. Completely harmless. But she'd already told everyone I was letting her die of cancer. So that was awkward. Then, yesterday, I got a text from an unknown number. It was Brad. "Hey Chief, heard you got married. Good for you. By the way, Deb's crazy. Watch your back." "Watch my back." I replied, "Already learned that lesson. Enjoy your next victim." He sent back, "LOL. She still thinks we're getting back together. Calling me 50x a day." I blocked the number. Not my circus. Not my monkeys. It's been 8 months since Deborah left me for her exciting new life. Here's where everyone ended up. Deborah's working 2 retail jobs and living in a studio apartment in the sketchy part of town. Her influencer dreams? Dead. Her Instagram's private now, with 436 followers. Her last public post was a motivational quote about rising from the ashes. The ashes she lit herself. Brad moved 3 states away with some new woman he met at a supplement store. Deborah found out when she went to win him back and discovered his apartment empty. The landlord said he'd skipped 2 months' rent. She tried one last time to get money from me. Showed up at Patricia's birthday dinner, nice restaurant, full family gathering. Patricia's kids, my kids, everyone. Deborah walked up to our table wearing what was clearly a new outfit she couldn't afford and made a scene. "I need to talk to my husband." "Ex-husband," I corrected. "We were together for 32 years. That has to mean something." Patricia, calm as ever, said, "It meant something, past tense. Now you're interrupting my birthday dinner." Kelly stood up. "Mom, leave. You're embarrassing yourself." "I'm your mother." Deborah snapped. "And you left Dad for a guy younger than Eric," Kelly shot back. "You don't get to play the victim now." The manager came over. Deborah tried to claim she was family and had a right to be there. The manager looked at our clearly uncomfortable table and told her to leave or he'd call the police. Her parting shot? "You'll all regret this when I'm gone." Eric muttered under his breath, loud enough to hear, "Promise." That was 2 weeks ago. Since then, Deborah's been banned from the restaurant. Both kids have gone low contact with her. Ruth passed away peacefully in her sleep, left everything to charity because she was disappointed in Deborah's choices. As for me, I got promoted at work. Turns out a stress-free life does wonders for productivity. Patricia and I are planning a real honeymoon to Greece. The whole thing cost me about $180,000 and a year of drama. But in the end, I gained peace, self-respect, and a partner who actually wants to be with me. Deborah wanted excitement, and she got it. Bankruptcy's pretty exciting. Eviction notices are thrilling. Watching your boy toy leave you for someone younger? That's one wild adventure. She still texts me occasionally from different numbers. Always some emergency, some crisis, some reason she needs money. I don't respond. Patricia and I just laugh about it over a glass of wine. "Another text from the ex?" she'll ask. "Yep," I'll say. "Needs money for car repairs." Didn't she want a more exciting life? Patricia'll grin. Walking's quite the adventure. We laugh. We're happy. Life is good. Meanwhile, Deborah's learning that Instagram filters don't pay the bills, that 35-year-old trainers aren't interested in 55-year-old women long-term, and that burning bridges leaves you nowhere to go when the flood comes. Someone asked if I regret anything. Not a thing. Do I feel bad for her? No. She had everything: a loving family, a paid-off house, a comfortable life, and the option to retire early. She threw it all away for some fantasy sold to her by a guy who couldn't even afford his own apartment. Actions have consequences. She made her choices, and now she's living with them. As for me, I'm living my predictable, boring life with my age-appropriate wife, my healthy retirement accounts, and my excellent health insurance that covers both of us. Boring has never looked so good. Edit, since a few people keep asking. Yes, this is all real. And no, I don't feel guilty. She made her choices, I made mine. The difference is, mine didn't involve destroying a 3-decade marriage for a guy whose biggest life accomplishment is doing burpees for a living. To the person who messaged me saying I'm bitter, buddy, I'm literally sitting on my deck right now. Patricia's inside making dinner, and we're about to watch the game. If this is what bitter looks like, I'll take it over whatever Deborah's version of sweet was supposed to be any day.